You know the face. You know the music. You know him as the king of reggae, the face of Rastafari, and a global icon of peace and love. Bob Marley is one of the most recognizable figures on the planet. But what if I told you that the man behind the legend is way more complex, surprising, and even mysterious than the t-shirts would have you believe? Today, we're digging past the One Love surface to uncover some truly unknown stories about Robert Nesta Marley. From a childhood mystical talent to a secret life in the American suburbs, get ready to see the legend in a whole new light. Let's jump in. Before he was a musical prophet, young Bob Marley was believed by many in his rural village of 9 Mile to be an actual prophet. As a small child, barely out of toddlerhood, Bob possessed an uncanny and unsettling ability. He could read palms. Villagers and neighbors would line up to have this little boy look at their hands and predict their futures. And apparently, his predictions were freakishly accurate. It spooked people out. But then, at the age of 7, Bob made a sudden declaration. He announced he was done with palm reading. Why? Because, he said, his new destiny was to become a singer. From that day on, he refused every request to read another palm. The mystic had found a new medium. You're probably imagining him on a beach in Jamaica or on stage in a cloud of smoke. You probably aren't picturing him punching a clock in Delaware. In the mid-1960s, before his music career truly exploded, Bob moved to Wilmington, Delaware, to live with his mother. To make ends meet, the future superstar took on blue-collar jobs. He worked as a lab assistant at the giant chemical company DuPont, and even spent time on the assembly line at a Chrysler car plant. He even used an alias, Donald Marley. It was grueling, monotonous work that he absolutely hated. But it wasn't for nothing. The experience gave him a first-hand look at the American capitalist machine, which inspired the lyrics for the song Night Shift on the Rastaman Vibration album. We think of Bob Marley as the ultimate symbol of Black pride and Pan-Africanism, but growing up, he was often treated as an outsider in his own community. His father was Norval Sinclair Marley, a white British naval captain in his 60s who had a relationship with Bob's 8-year-old mother, Cedella. Norval was largely absent and died when Bob was 10. Because of his light skin and mixed heritage, young Bob was mercilessly bullied in the tough streets of Kingston. Neighborhood kids called him White Boy or German Boy. It was a painful experience that forced him to learn to defend himself, earning him the tough nickname Tough Gong. It also shaped his prescient, universal worldview. He later said, "I'm not on the white man's side or the black man's side. I'm on God's side." Let's hit you with 2 quick ones before we go. First, one of his biggest hits, No Woman, No Cry. Bob didn't take the songwriting credit for himself. He gave it to his friend Vincent Ford, a man who ran a soup kitchen in Trenchtown where a young Bob used to hang out. And finally, Bob drove a BMW, but not for the status. He famously said he didn't care about fancy cars. He only liked BMW because he decided the letters stood for Bob Marley and the Wailers. That's some serious brand loyalty. So, there you have it. The mystic child, the American factory worker, the bullied outsider, who became a global unifier. Bob Marley was so much more than just a poster on a dorm room wall. He was a beautifully complicated human being whose life story is just as powerful as his music. Which of these stories surprised you the most? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed digging deeper into music history, smash that like button and subscribe for more untold stories of your favorite legends. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep jamming.